Okay, let's get started. We want to, respect the time that all of you are spending with us here. Namaste and a very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us this Friday evening. My name is Payoshni and I lead the PISA for Schools initiative at Excel One. And we are so glad to have you in this room with us. At Stones to Milestones, our vision has always been simple but very powerful, which was to helping every child find their place. And this year, as we celebrate our 17th anniversary, in fact, this month we celebrated our 17th anniversary, we are very excited to share a new initiative that we have designed specially for all our partner schools. Schools that have walked this journey with us and really shaped who we are as an organization. And many of familiar faces here, many of you have been key contributors to our very first mission back in 2008, which was creating a nation of readers together. And together we have worked to ensure that every child not only gains the skill to read, but the will to read, and regardless of their background, language, or learning environment. And it's your commitment, our dear partners, that has made this movement real. And we're so glad to have many of you as our partners in our next chapter too, which is, empowering school transformation through data-driven decision making, global benchmark, and continuous improvements via Excel One. I'll just share my screen because I want to talk a little bit about our marquee product, which is Excel One, which is PISA for schools, and all of you are familiar with it. Excel One continues to be the exclusive partner for OECD in India, and we bring the PISA for schools assessment to the country. As many of you know, PISA for Schools is a school level version of PISA that enables individual schools to participate independently. And it's one of those assessments that provides actionable school level data to drive improvement, have instructional changes and contribute to educator upskilling. And it's built on the internationally benchmarked PISA framework, ensuring global comparability and rigor. PISA, the original PISA, has been around for 20 plus years and has been used in over 80 plus countries in the world. And we are very glad that we've been able to bring PISA for schools to India and be a national partner for OECD. Really quickly, so many of you have been part of the last two cycles of PISA for schools. We have been able to partner with over 150 pioneering schools in the country across 16 states. 2,000 plus educators have joined us in this journey, and we have had over 60,000 test attempts. All of this has been possible because of you. And we have opened registrations for cycle 3. If you would like to know more about PISA for schools, we are hosting another webinar on 9th of January. We will send more information your way. But if you would like to hear from OECD representatives, know more about PISA for schools, here, educators, panelists talking about how PISA for schools has informed their school's progress, we'll be very, very happy to host you. With that, let's move on with today's program. And I wanted to tell you about this another big leap that we are taking, right? And after bringing out the world's strongest competency-based assessment benchmark to India, we are now building a community with a shared vision. And this mission is to connect practice to performance, to collaborate deeply, and to bring global best practices into local classrooms so our schools can become the absolute best in their context. At Excel One, we truly believe that the community that grows together is the community that sustains. And this is the community that we are banking on. I want all of us to hear about what this community mean at a global level. And we are very fortunate to have Ms. Natalia Rubio from OECD who has joined us today to share her experience of this moment at a global scale and how she's excited to integrate India into this growing global community of educators that are learning together, that are moving forward together. Really quickly about Natalia, she's a research associate at the OECD's Directorate for Education and Skills, where she supports the global rollout for PISA for schools through case studies and stakeholder engagement. Previously, Natalia has worked with UNESCO's AI and education team and has worked across countries like Colombia, the US, France, and Cambodia. She holds a degree in Masters in Digital Policy and fluent in multiple languages, including Spanish, Portuguese, English, and French. Welcome, Natalia. Without further ado, the stage is yours. We would love to hear your experiences around building a global community.
Thank you, Payoshni, for that
Recording in
warm
progress.
introduction. Good evening, everyone, and good day from Paris. It is only 12:30 here, and I'm very happy to join you today. And thank you, Excel1, for the invite to this important launch. Let me start by saying that from our work at the PISA for Schools, we have evidence that school improvement is very hard work. But the evidence has also showed us that it becomes much easier when schools don't work alone. Over the years, we have seen that when schools have a strong community around them, they learn faster, they share what is working, they avoid repeating the same mistakes, and they adapt successfully the ideas to their own context. And this is exactly why Club Excel1 matters. It exists to help you move from a report to real improvement together as a community. Many people think of PISA for schools as a simple assessment, but in reality, it is a starting point. PISA for schools provides a deep diagnostic across three areas that matter the most, for us at least: how well students are learning, the practices that teachers uses, and the environment in which learning happens. It doesn't just tell you what is happening in your school, it helps you reflect on why and where the most meaningful opportunities for growth are. And that reflection becomes far more powerful when it happens within a community. In our work globally, we consistently see one pattern. Schools get better results when they use the data together and not in isolation. Community strengthens improvement in three ways. First, better decoding of data. Leaders and teachers interpret findings more accurately when they discuss them with peers facing similar challenges, and I believe this will be the help for India schools. Better choices. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, networks help schools identify the 2 or 3 priorities that will make them the biggest difference. We have evidence of this in our case studies. And better consistency. Sustained progress requires routines. A community brings accountability, encouragement, and momentum, and that is very important. Ultimately, data becomes truly useful only when it is shared, discussed, and transformed into action, and this is PISA for Schools model. We see this all the time. For instance, one school in Brazil mobilized alumni as volunteer tutors, engaged parents through the council, and partnered with universities and institutes to give special courses, for example, in artificial intelligence or problem solving. PISA for Schools drove community-based reinforcement in math and sciences in this school. Another case in Kazakhstan led the network-wide Thursdays, exchanging tasks and resources, aligning PISA for Schools with national priorities to embed functional literacy across subjects collectively. And these are just a couple of examples. By joining Club Excel1, you will not only be a part of a national community, it is also a doorway back into a broader international network that we are rekindling. The insights, innovations, and routines you develop here will feed into that global learning community, and in return, you will have access to experiences and solutions tested by schools around the world. All of this aligns with a major global shift toward competency-based learning, where students apply knowledge and just not recall it. And there is growing focus on well-being because we know that great learning environments create lifelong learners. PISA for Schools support this shift by looking at learning, teacher, and the school climate together. So improvement is holistic, not fragmented. So my message today is very simple. PISA for Schools give you the capability, and Club Excel1 will give you, PISA for Schools gives you clarity, and Excel1 will give you the capability. Together, they will help you build routines, use practical tools, and engage in peer learning that turn diagnostics into real sustainable change. I am very grateful to be here, and I'm truly excited to see what you will build together through Club Excel1. If you want to be learning more about our case studies, I will invite you to join Excel1 community and maybe check our case study report that we developed with Oxford University, and that we will be happy to share the link over the chat if this is of interest. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Natalia, for sharing about the global community of educators and the value that you've seen them derive. I think three things that you said that are, that stuck with me, and I'm sure I'll go and dwell on this a little bit more. What you said about that, how schools grow better when they use data together. So there is, merit in looking at data together. The fact that growth comes from peers and their discussion. So, there is a lot of learning that happens when we interact with our peers, and that's a very important point. That's true for our students, that's true for our teachers as well. And the fact, and I think the biggest message I'm taking away is that progress requires continuity and consistency, continuity in the rituals that we build for ourselves, the practices that we build in our schools are so very important. Thank you so much, Natalia. I hope you'll stick around a little bit, and we might have some time for dialogue with everyone.
Of course, thank you, Payashni.
Thank you. With that, folks, I also want to invite another colleague of mine. I'll invite Namita to join us, who will be the facilitator and, in some sense, the sutradhar for this community. She is going to be the one who will be holding Club Excel One together. Namita, I've known Namita for a few years now. She's been an education entrepreneur, has done learning strategy for over 17 years, has experience in building scalable learning solutions. She has founded her own organization called Spark Studio, has worked with leading names like Lead, where she designed the entire English learning program called ELGA. She's been a former Teach for India fellow, also a nominee for Teacher of the Year in United States, and brings really strong expertise in pedagogy, content design, and edtech. We are very excited to have Namita hold this piece together, because this is the community of educators that will look at data-driven problem solving, that will look at competency-based assessments. And as Natalia advised us all, this is going to be about sharing and continuity to grow together. Over to you, Namita. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Payushni. Thank you, Natalia. When Natalia was sharing about community and the global community practices, I was like, Club Excel One. It was like a validation for me that Club Excel One, the way we are defining it and describing it, a lot of pieces of it are part of Club Excel One. So thank you so much for sharing that piece, Natalia. Uh, uh, Hello, everyone, and welcome to the launch of Club Excel One, which is about growing better schools together. And I'm really excited to be here. I have a short presentation for all of you, so it's more like a show and tell. And over the next 10 to 12 minutes, I'll cover what is Club Excel One, who can be part of Club Excel One, what do members get, what does the year with Club Excel One look like, and how do we recognize progress. So let's get started. I'll just start by sharing my screen. I hope everybody is able to see my screen. Great. All right. So while we were defining Club Excel One, our guiding principles were, how do we build a community that applauds progress over performance? Because schools are live ecosystems, things happen on real-time basis. So there is never, every day is so different from the other that we have to keep in mind that it cannot be just one instance, 1 week, 1 month that happened. It has to be a continuous, consistent effort that goes over a period of time. And that is the guiding principle for developing Club Excel One. So let me get into the details of what exactly is Club Excel One. So Club Excel One is an exclusive community for the schools that are participating in the PISA for Schools program. And in the next slide, I'll discuss and share why is that the case. See, our job is to help you move from data to direction. And I think both Payoshni and Natalia really harped on that point, that how do we use data? See, assessment is a way for us to move forward. It is not a way for us to just get input, get a data point, and then, move forward. It's important for us to take a step back, evaluate and understand that data point, and see that how we can build it into our practice together. This webinar in itself, and I'm so grateful to see all of you here, that there's so much collective wisdom that exists in our community that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are vast resources that are existing in the community where we can learn from each other. If there is a problem, we can tackle it together. So, I want the vision for Club Excel One is any problem, anything that comes our way, we are as a community able to tackle together, learn from it, tackle together, and move on from there. We are already working with hundreds of schools. And through Club Excel One, we want to make this network actionable. Club Excel One is designed for the entire school system. So the way we are envisioning it is that everyone in this ecosystem is able to take something away from it, whether you are an owner, or you are a principal, or you are a coordinator, or a teacher, even students. So that's how we have designed or envisioned Club Excel One. Now, let me move to the point that why is it only for those schools who are part of PISA for Schools? So it's important that, when we are thinking about an exclusive community, everyone shares a common high standard of global benchmark so that we all speak a common language. We all have benchmarking that gives us clear diagnostics on, like Natalia had mentioned, where we are now, how do we compare globally, and what's next for us. A common platform that creates a shared language of skill and data across all the stakeholders that we discussed about. Peer comparisons and collaboration works better when we are all measured against the same framework and we are talking the same language. It also helps in creating an ecosystem which shifts from rote learning to real world skill application because that's what is happening right now. We are all aware of NEP 2020 and hence having this community now is very important because NEP 2020 is a policy that is really focused on pushing competency based education and more diagnostic and system driven assessments. And that's exactly what PISA for School assessments is. Schools are expected to use data to guide teaching, build 21st century skills, and most importantly, social emotional learning. And I'm so glad that Natalia mentioned that social emotional learning promotes safe environments that develop lifelong learners. And at Club Excel One, at least for the next 1 year, you're going to really hear a lot of social emotional learning and a lot of webinars, a lot of our interventions are going to be about that because creating safe environments will foster lifelong learners. And I think when we talk about these 21st century skills, they are not just about content recall. And I think this is verbatim what both Natalia and Paroshni mentioned, that content recall is not what we are looking for. That's not the future. And with AI in education, that's clearly that those skills are redundant. We need to prepare our students for what's ahead in the future. And doing this alone at a school level is really hard. Having a community like Club Excel One will reduce that burden from one person. It becomes a collective responsibility. Through trial and errors, I'm fairly certain if there is a problem, somebody in this network has already had it, figured out some way of dealing with it, sharing a path or a playbook on how do we go ahead with it. It becomes so easy instead of us going back thinking about whether it will work or not. And by the time we actually realize that it did not work or it did work, it's too late. So why should we waste time in that when there's already a community that can help us grow and learn together? Now I'll move on to the part that if you're a member of Club Excel One, what do you get? And again, a lot of it was covered by Natalia. That here there are 5 pillars. So one of the pillars is like how can we use data to drive clarity? Like how can we use diagnostic data that we get into actionables? Create like 2 to 3 very clear priorities for yourself. Peer learning, so through webinars, case discussions, community of practice, we will have a lot of spaces where you can share with each other. We will also be offering ready-to-use tools. There can be competency-based question banks, classroom resources that you can use immediately in your classroom. There'll be capacity building for both teachers and leaders. There will be rewards and recognition, which will offer visibility, celebrate schools, teachers, and students. So this is what members will get when they are part of Club Excel One. Now let me show you how year at Club Excel One is going to look like. So we have built a simple rhythm, a monthly, quarterly, and annual. So what this monthly rhythm is going to look like, we will have webinars targeted towards school leaders and teachers. So with school leaders, it will be more strategic. And with teachers, it will be more resources, things, practices that they can go back and apply in their classrooms. Quarterly, we will have teacher awards, we will have student challenges, which are focused on specific skills, which are like building confidence, critical thinking, and most importantly, social emotional. And at the end of the year, how do we package it all together? Is there will be an award for progress, where we will be celebrating holistic growth and not just test scores. So it's important that we are celebrating that growth that we are working towards throughout the year. And like I had mentioned, I want to talk a little bit more about this reward and recognition that we are discussing here, because historically awards are always given to high scores, best performers, and um, being an educator, I have been extremely uncomfortable with that. I feel that anything like when we are recognizing, the data points should be triangulated. There should be multiple points of references before we actually say that yes, there's a sign of progress. And we all are product, like I'll at least talk about myself. I'm a product of an education system which only rewarded performance on that particular day when I gave that exam, how I performed, and that was my truth. However, that's not true for our students, and that's not going to be their future. So how do we change that? And that can only change when us as leaders are the role models of it. So we are really focused on awarding progress and not performance. So when we, through the school award, we want to recognize the journey that the school is taking with us and not the destination. So what we will be looking for, because I just showed you the rhythm that we will have, the kind of interventions that we will have through the year with you. So what we would be looking at is how much are you interacting with each of these? Are you using these resources, these tools? Because those are all signals and signs for us that you are doing something to improve, to show progress within your school system. Because all of these tools and these resources will come from the needs that each one of you will have. So if this is what you need and we are providing, however, if you're not engaging with it, or you're not using it, or you're not contributing to it, then those are signals for us that maybe you're not moving towards progress. So what we would be really looking for is the usage of our tools, our resources. We will look at how actively you are engaging with the community, with the webinars, with the challenges, with the awards. Also, how openly you are sharing your stories, because I think that's very important. When we are sharing, it's knowledge expands when you share. So that's what we would be really looking for. So the message that I want to leave each one of you with is that improvement is measurable, visible, and worth celebrating. So let's share it. Let's really get the stories of true impact from our lives and share it with everyone in the community. So those are some of the places that we would be consistently looking at while we are thinking about this Progress Award. And like I had mentioned earlier, that members are going to get all of these different benefits. I've put them together in one place for you. So if you are a school owner, what do you get? You are made aware of what does global benchmarks look like, and it creates a stronger positioning for you in front of the parents. If you're a school principal, you will be able to take away how you can use data to create improvement plans for your school, and you will have access to a very strong peer network. For coordinators, you will have tools. You can track usage, you can support your teachers. If you are a teacher, you will have resources that you can take back to your classroom and actually implement them and also get recognition for them. And students, they will have opportunities of practice that would help them build their confidence, their skills, and social emotional growth. Happy learners are lifelong learners. So coming back to who can join, as I had shared it earlier as well, that this membership is exclusive to the schools currently who are part of Excel 1's PISA for School assessment cycle. If you are unsure of your eligibility, there are two ways you can do this. You can message us right now, and somebody from the team will connect with you. Second is, you can see there are two email IDs on the screen, Payoshni, and there's another one which is pfs@excel1.in. Either of any of the two, you can reach out and somebody from the team will connect with you. People who are members, the schools that are member of PISA for Schools, we will also be sharing in a few days a logo with you, which you can use on your website and be a proud member of PISA for School program. And before I close down, before I close and say thank you, I wanted to give you all a teaser of how will you access, like I've spoken about, those rhythms, the monthly, quarterly, and annual rhythms. How will you get access to it? Let me give you a teaser of it. Minute, let me share. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Okay. Mhm. 1 minute. I'll just reshare my screen. So this was a teaser. We are in the process of building this dashboard so that all the information that you need about Club Excel One, from tracking to knowing what's coming up next, everything will be available to you on this dashboard. Till the time this dashboard is ready, we would be sharing with you. We will continue to share on WhatsApp, on email. So don't worry, you'll not miss out on anything. I'm really excited to work together with each one of you in growing our schools better together. Thank you everyone for listening to me. And now I'll open up the floor for questions that you may have. Over to you, Payoshni. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Namita, for sharing. And I'm sure the schools are feeling this, but I'm personally feeling very excited about, bringing this community together. I know we have been speaking to schools individually, but a chance, a common platform for them to interact is really exciting. Folks, you can post your questions on the chat as well, and Namita and I will answer them to the best of our knowledge. But before that, I would love to hear, like, based on what you heard Namita share, if any of our partner schools are here and would like to share, we would love to hear from you on what stood out for you as you were looking at the blueprint that we have laid out for Club Excel One. What is it that's exciting you the most? What is it that, how do you think that you can use it to shape your work further? Please feel free to raise your virtual hands on Zoom and we'll unmute you and request you to share.
Recording stopped.
Any thoughts, reactions, feedback for us? You think we can do this better? Would love to hear. I see so many familiar names in schools, and this is a conversation we'll really appreciate if you share. Thank you, Radhika ma'am. Let's unmute you. Go ahead, Radhika ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Dr. Radhika Srinivasan from Suchitra Academy. I am new to Suchitra Academy, but PISA for schools is not new to Suchitra Academy. This is our second cycle that we've enrolled with, with Excel One and with PISA for schools. And we did look at the data very, very deeply, and we changed some strategies, especially for math. This is how we used, high school math. We made some very strategic decisions on even allocating extra schedules for maths. So that was how we used. So I'm excited to be part of this community. I had a question. Is there a separate subscription for the Excel one, or would it be covered in the?
Sure, I can get started, and Namita, please feel free to add. First of all, Dr. Radhika, thanks so much for sharing about your experience on how you have actually used data to inform your school policy. I think the more conversations we have around it, the more it shows our participating schools that this data is worth collecting and plugging into our school plan. So thanks for sharing that. The Club Excel One membership currently comes bundled with the PISA for Schools assessment that the school signs up for. So it's a part of it. You will be exposed to a bunch of different webinars, roundtables, and all the other cool offerings that Namita has showed us. So all of that comes with the PISA for Schools assessment pricing itself at the moment.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am, for sharing. I can see CSG raising their hands. Do you want to unmute and tell us?
Good evening, ma'am. This is Siloni Sengupta speaking.
Hi, ma'am.
Not sure if I am visible.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Go ahead.
As is evident, I'm traveling back. Actually, I was engaged elsewhere. I was on school duty earlier. So I could not, I joined later. And would it be possible for you to share the recording so that I could go through it and have a deeper understanding? Because I'm sure since the authorities at my school have asked me to join, so I'm sure that they would be interested in what went on, what transpired. So could I get the recording later maybe? Then I can share. Maybe I can write back to you later
Absolutely,
about
ma'am. I
our
mean, this
observations.
space, yeah, totally, ma'am. The space is for all of you, so we'll share as much information as we can with you because the idea is for you to come and make use of this community. So don't worry, even if you joined us late. Thanks for joining, and we will share all relevant information through a follow-up email that we'll send after the webinar.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And am I required to label the name in the name of my school? I represent Indus Valley World School.
Yeah,
So
ma'am,
am
we
I?
have your details. No
Oh, all
worries.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am. Vandana, ma'am, do you want to unmute and share?
Yes. Hello everyone. I am Vandana from Vidyalaya, and thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity first of all. And as Max shared, that we haven't used the before school result not only for academics but insights given the emotional well-being of the students. So we have a lot of needs on that, and we started working on that. Specialist opportunity of get into a club where we all link in hand, where we can share open. It I am really looking forward, and yeah, so let's get more on this.
Vandana ma'am, we couldn't hear you very well, but what I'm taking
Oh,
away is something that you are really interested in the social emotional learning path and how what we are
yes.
going to do. All right, understood.
Thank
Then
you.
I would request you to stay till the end because we have something interesting then.
Vandana, ma'am, your wish has been granted today, and we'll share more about it how. But just stay till the end. Hi, Tamanna, ma'am. Always a pleasure to hear from you.
Payoshni, thank you. Thank you for this session. It was actually wonderful listening to you, what this club will be offering. And this sounds really exciting. And I think very thoughtfully put because, what does a school do with the data? And how does one take it forward? So I think this is a step in the right direction. So congratulations. We all look forward to this. And I'm particularly very, very happy to see that you this is a free platform if you are a PISA member. So this will encourage many schools at the moment, I think. And if they'll find merit in it, I'm sure, later if it becomes paid, nobody would mind that. And capacity building is again something very, very good that, you're going to be taking care of. So this is fantastic. And peer learning. So going forward, it is all about collaboration. So I think this can be a starting point of something great. So all the best, and we all look forward to being part of this wonderful community, learning from each other and working together.
Thank you, Tamanna ma'am, for your words of encouragement. And absolutely, I mean, Excel One comes with a very clear vision of helping school transform themselves through data-driven lens, right? So the competency-based framework, using data for school improvement, bringing the community together to learn together, all of these are like causes close to our heart. And we're so glad it resonates with you. And of course, we look forward to your active participation. Folks, if you have any questions, we can use this time. You can put it on the chat or feel free to unmute yourself. You can raise the virtual hand on Zoom, and Namita and I are here to answer any questions you have. If you have a question specifically for PISA or OECD, Natalia is hanging around as well. Please ask them. They do a lot of interesting work in terms of research around PISA, global practices. They have global experiences to share. So if the question around global communities has crossed your mind, please feel free to ask them here as well.
Got it. I could see Mr. Ganesh Tiwari. He was, I think, raising his hand.
Hi, Ganesh sir. Do you want to unmute yourself and share? So you'll have to unmute yourself.
And I can also see Madhavan sir. He also wants to speak, I think. He's already unmuted himself.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. This is Dr. Madhavan here.
Good evening.
Hi, sir.
Am I audible?
So if you could speak a little bit louder.
Am I audible, ma'am? Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Dr. Madhavan. This side, I'm heading the OP Jindal School at Mundra, Samagoga, Kutch. So thank you for inviting me for attending this meeting, and then I am really excited to take up this PISA for test for our school. So shortly I will get in touch with you for getting this test done in my school.
Absolutely, sir. I have added my email ID on the chat box as well. I really hope we get to chat soon. I'll also write to you. We have your email ID.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Ganesh sir, do you want to unmute and share?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. This is the second cycle of PISA that we have conducted at our school, and I have attended all your meetings, workshops at Delhi. My question is, how are we going to access the resources of this club? Are you going to share some link or email every time, or is there a website from which we can download things, videos, resources, files?
I can take this up, Payushni. So hello, sir. So sir, there are two ways in which we will help. We will guide you through the year. So the email and the WhatsApp communication that is existing will continue. In addition to that, we would give you access to a dashboard, the video of which I shared with you, so that just in case like you have missed out on email or a WhatsApp or are curious to know what exactly is happening at Club XL1, that information will also exist in dashboard. As I had shared that we are in the process of building it, and we don't want any of the schools to miss out. So till the time we are able to provide it in a consolidated space, we will continue email and WhatsApp. So don't worry, you will not miss out on anything. We will continue to stay in touch through the existing channels.
And can I request you to organize some trainings, how to prepare students for these tests?
Sure, that's in the pipeline.
Last time I think you did one, but these are required more frequently.
I understand. Definitely, that's one of the trainings in the pipeline.
And please convey my thanks and regards to Natalia for sharing all those case studies. I have gone through some of them.
Beautiful. And Ganesha, thank you for sharing that, about your request for the kind of trainings. Because one thing I do want to re-emphasize is that this is going to be an evolving want we want all of your feedback. We want you to use the community, tell us what works, tell us what doesn't work, and we hope to see this community take its own shape, refine its practices based on genuinely what is serving the school, because this community is for our partners and is for our stakeholders. So your experiences, your challenges, your innovations, all of this is going to direct the direction the community will take. So thank you, Ganesh sir, for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Yes, Natalia, please share.
Thank you, Payashni. I'm not a school, but I would like to share a couple of points that stood out from your presentation, Namita, that are very linked to what we have learned from schools around the world in PISA for Schools. The first is the fact that many of our schools join PISA for Schools because they are interested in benchmarking internationally. Around 90% of our schools join PISA for Schools because they are able to receive the same score and under the same scale than in PISA, and for them they just want to know how their schools are doing, not only nationally but also internationally. Even though this is the case, and it is for sure one of the benefits from joining PISA for Schools, a lot of our schools rapidly understand that this is not the only benefit from joining PISA for Schools. Many of them recognize that PISA for Schools is a catalyst for developing change, as Miss Radhika, if I'm not mistaken, shared that she changed her strategy for math based on the results that she received. And I want to just share a quick quote from one of our schools in our case studies that mentioned, "The data does not tell us what to do, but it opens a mirror. It makes us ask questions we might not otherwise have asked." So I think it's very important to highlight how schools understand that data is there. Of course, it's very useful, but it is important that we take this data forward and that we understand that the PISA for Schools has a lot of many other benefits, and one of them is working in community as well. 30% of our schools that joined the case studies research study that I conducted along with University of Oxford shared their results with their community. And when I'm talking about their community, this includes parents, councils, even students. And when they shared this data and everyone understood something different from a different point of view and a different perspective, they were able to give some feedback, and based on this they were able to start doing some changes within their schools, and many of them were able to see the changes, for example, in teacher relationship with the students from one cycle to the other one. So I just wanted to share that, and I would like to invite all of the participants here that have participated in PISA for Schools assessment to share their stories with us, how you used PISA for Schools results, how do you think we can help you further. And I have put the link in the chat, and I would be more happy to read your stories, because this research was developed last year, and it was with all of the schools that have already participated in PISA for Schools, but it was only the first cycle for India, so we didn't have many information. We would really value that, because the more cases, the more diversity, the more we can understand your needs. So thank you very much, and I will leave it there.
Thanks, Natalia, for adding that perspective. Very, very helpful. I see hands raised by Deputy CEO, DCM School. Sir, ma'am, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, this is Dr. Gopan from DCM Group of Schools. We are operating from the north
Yes,
of
sir.
Delhi, 3 states. Participated in two of the cycles in this PISA assessment. 2 cycles we have already participated. One of our schools. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. The voice is a little feeble, so
Yeah.
I'm concentrating hard, but we can hear you.
Sorry, my camera is. I turned it off. So my question, I have two questions. One is, how is this Excel1 Excel1 related to those cycle tests that we conduct? Is it only while you're participating in that, or is it a Club Excel One is a community that that you continue to be part of it, irrespective of whether you are participating in the test or not? Because we have multiple schools, that is why I'm asking it.
So did you have a second question as well, or should I answer this one first? Let me answer this first. Sir, I hope I'm audible. I can't see you on the screen anymore.
Yes, you're audible, Payushni.
Got it. Okay. So thanks for sharing, and we really appreciate DCM School's commitment to be with us for two cycle. Sir, what we believe is this community to develop together, right? So once you have taken the PISA for Schools assessment, of course, the hope is that you will take the assessment for multiple years in order to be able to really link the practice to performance and take the trends for your school. But we are hoping to continue to have you on Club Excel One for all the years that you have been associated with PISA for Schools. Have I answered your question, sir? And did you have a second part? Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, because I lost you in between because I'm this club. So there are schools, overseas schools part of it.
Sorry, sir, I am unable to hear you.
So my question is, the club has only the schools from India, or we also have schools, overseas schools part of it?
Got it. Namita, you want to add to that?
Yeah, sure. So right now, sir, we haven't restricted the schools from a country, but we are definitely only opening it up to the schools that are part of PISA for School program through Excel One. So if that's an
Right.
international
So that means,
school, yeah, so if that's an international school, they can be part of our community as well, but they need to be part of the PISA for School program through Excel One.
And so the best
Right.
part about like
Thank
our
you for that.
association with OECD overall is that this community will always be a global community, right? And the hope is, and why we have Natalia on the call as well, is that of course Indian context, culture of the school matters. Our education ecosystem is a little bit different, but there is a lot of peer learning that happens at a global level as well. And the hope is that we do more sessions, we do more connections to connect you to the global community. So that's something definitely in the future. But as of now, as Namita said, this is run by Excel One for schools that have been associated with the PISA for Schools assessment in India. But the plan is to definitely open it up to a global community.
Right, right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namita, do you want to share the last part? We have about 10
Sure.
minutes left.
Yes. So this is one of the things that for you to look forward to in the new year as one of the challenges that we would be rolling out to schools in the new year. It's called Kindness and Courage Challenge, because at Club Excel One we really want to promote student well-being, positive behaviors among students. So we would be rolling out with more details in the new year, where we would invite students to complete small acts of kindness, courage, reflect on them, and then also make a submission in the way that they feel comfortable, and share it with us as a larger community. And of course, those who share actively and are able to share real impact stories will also be rewarded. I'll share the more details with you in the next year, but because a lot of conversations were around social emotional growth and learning for our students, I thought it's great to let you know that that's something that is on our radar and something that we would be promoting and pushing for. And I can see there's somebody's hands raised. Ashutosh sir.
So can you unmute yourself and share, please?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
And good evening, ma'am, too. Good evening to all of you. Ma'am, actually, there is a small question I'm having, and the question is relates to actually Excel One. Actually, appreciate the overview of PISA Excel 1 actually. I would like to seek clarification on the some one topic I'm having. The topic is actually how can you a school practically integrate Excel 1 outcomes to into academic planning and school quality improvement under NEP 2020.
Got it. Sir, your question is that how can the PISA for school assessment, the data points that it throws, how do you integrate into your school's development plan? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you for asking this question and very relevant. So typically when the PISA for school assessment closes for a school, and once we get the reports in, we do a one-on-one session with all of our partner schools to co-create the solution with the school. So we help you make sense of the data that the PISA for school assessment has thrown up for the school, help you prioritize what are, the priority gap areas that you may want to fulfill. And then based on the school's capacity for taking up changes during the year, we will help you with an implementation plan. We will help you connect to the right trainers or people who can help you go on this journey. So, Ashutosh, sir, we will start this conversation right as our results start coming in, which should be like in another month and a half or so. And that's when we engage with the school one-on-one to decide on their plan. There is no standard plan, of course, because each school has its own unique context, but it will be provided as a service to each school. So may I know which school are you from?
Ma'am, actually, I'm from Sri Vallabhasam MCM Kothari International Girls School, ma'am.
Okay,
Vallabhasam.
okay. Yeah, so sir, we are constantly in touch with Kush sir as well, and very happy to support in every way. But we will be fully hands-on, making sense of the data for you, and figuring out an implementation plan.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Great. Folks, we are almost on time. So, unless if you have any last minute thoughts, please share with us. Otherwise, Namita, if you want to finish what you were sharing, let's do that.
Yeah. So I'm done sharing this, and this was the first, I think, one of the early slides that we had shown about the webinar that will happen in January. So before, if there's nobody else sharing before each of you leave, I would really request for you to register now before you go away on your New Year or your Christmas breaks. So this is a thought that I wanted to leave each one of you with, and thank you so much for joining us. And I'm really excited to build this community together with each one of you on the call.
Thanks, Namita, and thank you everyone for joining this space. I think as founding members of this community, my request is that, help us count on your commitment. I think, as Namita has mentioned, your consistent engagement, your honest feedback, your willingness to learn and grow together with us is only going to move this community forward. And we really look forward to this, building this together with you. If there are any feedbacks, questions you have for us, please feel free to write to us. I have put my email ID here. You also have the PFS email ID, but we look forward to seeing you on our 9th January webinar if you'd like to join, and wait to hear back from us. A lot of exciting things land up for CEO, which is the Club Excel one. And thank you again. Have a great Christmas, a very happy New Year, and we'll stay in touch.